Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm so excited to do because it's going to be a tag video and it's also going to be a collab video. So exciting day today. So the tag video that I'm going to be doing is the underrated, overrated makeup tag. This was started by my friend Georgia Harris and she actually did it in collaboration with Biohazardous Beauty. I will have both of their videos down below, but basically they came up with a bunch of different categories for makeup, brands, products, etc. And we have to go through and pick out what one we think is super underrated and what one we think is super overrated. And it was actually really hard to make this list. But I'm also really excited because this video is going to be in collaboration with my friend Everyday Heidi over here on YouTube. And I am so excited to collab with her. We've been talking about collabing for a while and honestly it's so hard to come up with collab ideas. We were talking back and forth for a while and then Georgia and Biohazardous Beauty came out with this video and we were like, yes, let's do it. So I of course will have Heidi's channel linked down below and make sure to go check her out. I am really curious to see what she came up with for her list because like I said, this was a little bit challenging, but she has a great channel. She's so much fun to watch. She has so much energy. You can tell that she really loves creating her videos. It's different from me. Her videos are usually like short and to the point, or mine are a little bit longer and rambly, can you tell, like this intro? But she also creates a lot of content and she just has so many good videos over there, lots of fun review videos, and she comes up with a ton of fun makeup looks. So make sure to go over there, check out her channel, let her know I sent you. If you're coming from Heidi's channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do post a video every single day, if not 6 days a week. Sometimes I take a Saturday off, but other than that, I post a lot of videos over here and I love to just chat about makeup. So if you want to see my underrated, overrated makeup tag, why don't we go ahead and get started. So we have quite a few categories to get through, so I will try to get through this as quickly as I can. I'm also filming a little bit later because it's the second video because I'm pre-filming because I'll be out of town. And it's not, the sun is not starting to set, but the lighting is starting to shift. So I apologize if it looks crazy. Okay, so first up, just like Georgia did in her video, and overrated doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad product or I don't like it. You know, there's gonna be things on my list where like, I like it, but it definitely was overrated, or maybe it wasn't worth the overratedness in my mind, that type of thing. And then underrated doesn't mean that like, nobody likes it or it's like the best product in the entire world type of thing, but maybe I don't feel like it got enough chatter about, you know, things like that. So just gonna throw that out there. But we kick it off with makeup brands. So just in general, makeup brands. To me, an underrated makeup brand is a newer brand, but I'm still just like, I'm someone who's really excited about this brand, so I wanted to give them a mention, and it's Lawless Beauty. So again, it's a new brand and it was founded by Annie Lawless, who is absolutely beautiful. I follow her like everywhere, and every time she like snaps or really does anything with her life, I'm like, can we hang out and be best friends or nah? So they first launched their liquid lipsticks, which I absolutely love. Big fan of the liquid lipsticks, continually recommend them. And they also just launched a foundation, which I am still planning to pick up from Sephora. So again, newer brand. They don't have a ton of products out yet, but I definitely am excited to see where the brand's going, how they're gonna expand. And I think it's one of those brands to watch, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're probably underrated because they're so new, but it's really exciting that she got into Sephora. That's awesome. And I also think that she's gonna be a brand to watch. They're gonna be a brand to watch, Lawless Beauty. Overrated, honestly, the first brand that came into my head was Kylie Cosmetics. Man, you know, I can just remember all the craziness when Kylie Cosmetics first came out, you know, products selling in like 16 seconds and, you know, all having to wait in line as you were trying to, you know, check out with your order and all of that. You know, a lot of it was happening because of her name, because of who she is, and I totally get that. I totally understand that. But at the same time, I just kind of wanted to be like, can we just calm down for a second? Like, I think what frustrated me in the beginning, I'm trying to make this quick, I think what frustrated me was that people were buying and selling out and making this girl a millionaire so quickly without really anything to stand on, without really anything to go on. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that to me was what kind of frustrated me, was we don't even know if these products are good yet. We don't even know how the customer service is. We don't even know how any of this is, except it was just because of her being a celebrity and, you know, her name. And so I felt like that was pretty overrated, especially in the beginning. I feel like maybe the hype has died down like ish, but definitely in the beginning though for Kylie Cosmetics. Okay, so next up was a makeup brand collab. So like if a makeup brand collabed with another person, an influencer, etc. So for underrated, honestly, I kind of thought of the Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne collaboration. I felt like it didn't get a ton of hype, especially because Kristen Leanne is a really big YouTuber. And I know the collab went on sale right away, which, you know, I think Urban Decay just does that in general, but I was like, do people not like the products or what? But this palette in particular, I really enjoyed. It's called the Beauty Beam Highlight Palette. So it looks like this. You have 3 different shades. You have a mirror. I love this palette. I think it is so good. I took this on one of my trips with me. I can't remember. Maybe it was my Arizona trip I took with me. And I just really enjoyed this palette. I like all 3 shades in there. I think they're really stunning. I thought this was a really nice highlight palette. I feel like I didn't hear anybody talking about it or see anybody using it, and I was like, what? And then for overrated, so I thought of NYX Cosmetics for this one, and it wasn't necessarily like a collab that they did, but they came out with those element palettes, the Fire palette and the rest of those. I bought the Fire palette, so that's what I'm speaking of. But they had different influencers as like the face of these palettes, like and each influencer, you know, had a different palette, and she, you know, did a YouTube tutorial with this, and, you know, their faces and stuff were probably on the packaging. I don't really remember. But anyways, we had influencers kind of being the driving force behind the different palettes. And I don't feel like those palettes were very well received. I returned my Fire palette because I thought it was crap, and I know a lot of other people didn't love them. I think there was like one palette that people seem to say was really good, and I honestly can't remember if it was like the water palette. I don't remember. But I feel like in general, those palettes did not do well. They pretty much very quickly went on sale as well, and then nobody talked about them. Even the influencers that were working with NYX, like you saw their initial videos and then silence. I didn't see anything about those palettes. So I was like, okay. So I thought that was a little bit overrated in my opinion. Okay, so next up we have a makeup release in general. This one was kind of hard, especially for underrated. I was like, what has been an underrated release? And honestly, I just saw another one today that surprised me because I didn't even know about this. So Sigma Beauty recently did different collaborations with influencers, and I feel like the entire thing has been super underrated because they did a collab with my friend Angelica. I have her box somewhere. A collab with Angelica, who's one of my friends here on YouTube. So I bought her brush set, and I was so excited. I was so pumped up for her. Like the minute she released her video, I was like, yes, I can't wait. I'm buying them. I love all the brushes that she chose. Thought it was amazing. And then it was like a week later, I noticed another influencer, Kendall Alfred, who I also enjoy here on YouTube. She did a collaboration with Sigma, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how come I didn't know about that? I didn't hear about that. I think I saw it on like her Instagram stories, and they had already been out, and I'm like, what? And then just the other day, I saw that Taylor from that Taylor, I can never say her channel name correctly, I apologize. She did a collaboration with Sigma, and I was like, I didn't even hear anybody talk about it. I had no idea that happened. And then I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and somebody who I don't even know here on YouTube did a collaboration with Sigma, and they were saying, thank you, my brush is sold out, and that's so exciting. And I was like, what? And because Sigma had like retweeted it or liked it or something, so it popped up on my feed. And so then I was checking out her channel because I was like, I don't even know who you are, but like all of these wonderful, amazing, talented YouTubers have done collaborations with Sigma, and I feel like I don't like, I feel like Sigma's not really announcing it or saying it or putting it on their Instagram, or so I'm like, come on, like that's really exciting, especially if they're collaborating with a lot of like the smaller YouTubers. I think that's so freaking cool, and I think the whole thing, everybody's brushes, I feel like we're underrated because that's really freaking neat. So yeah, should have been more hype about that one. Okay, and then overrated, honestly, I'm gonna go back to Kylie Cosmetics. The Momager palette that just released. Sorry if I keep pulling up my top, my romper. I'm like, does anyone else not do a very good job at being able to tighten straps? I always have to have someone else tighten straps for me, and it's super embarrassing, but I'm by myself. So this is what we get. But anyways, so Kylie Cosmetics, the Momager collection that came out, she did a collab with her mom because she's collabed with, I think, all of her sisters except for Kendall at this point. So then she did a collab with her mom. It came out on Mother's Day. But it was like a very strange collab, I felt like, because she had just launched something else, and then all of a sudden this Momager collection came out, and it just kind of like came out of nowhere. We were all just kind of like, hey, what happened? Because usually she's really good at sharing what's coming up, sharing sneak peeks and swatches and all of that. And it just was kind of like, boom, there it was. And I felt like that was weird. But then also, I think what frustrated me and what made me feel like it was overrated was so many of the big YouTubers that did videos, because they all got the PR packages, they did videos on it. And I felt like I was feeling a little bit flustered because there was some bigger YouTubers who maybe don't post as much, don't post as often, you know, just things like that, that I hadn't been seeing a lot of like regular videos from them. And I understand these people have amazing opportunities and they're traveling all over the world and they're doing big things, and that's wonderful and fantastic, but they haven't been posting as much. And then all of a sudden, all of them do a video on the Momager collection. And I'm like, I get it, but it don't make me happy. And it makes me think it's overrated. Okay, so next up we have an eyeshadow palette. This was kind of a tough one for me, but I grabbed out a couple. So for an underrated palette, I chose the Balm. This is the Meet Matte Schmaker. Honestly, I feel like I really don't hear people talk about the Balm palettes a lot in general, and I've only tried a couple of them myself, but I quite like them, and especially this one I really freaking enjoy. I really like the layout of it, how we kind of have like the couples, the pairings of the different eyeshadows. You have a nice mirror in it. I really like a lot of these tones in here, and the eyeshadows are really nice, really good quality, and I really like this eyeshadow palette. I had good things to say about it after I got it and was trying it out. So this would be my underrated palette choice. For overrated, I had a few for overrated that I could have chose, but I went with this one from Viseart, and I know there's people that are gonna be mad at me, and like, I think it was this palette in a video when I was saying like I didn't love it the other day, like someone just like schooled me in a comment. It was like an 8-paragraph comment about like how I'm such a terrible person that I don't love this palette, and I'm like, I don't know. I can only tell you my true feelings. Like, I can't tell you how to feel about makeup. I can only tell you how I feel about the makeup. And for me, this is kind of overrated. It's just because I feel like I hear so many people say amazing things about the quality of these palettes. And keep in mind, this is an $80 eyeshadow palette that I'm holding up, like an $80 eyeshadow palette. And people say this is the best formula and all these other crazy amazing things. And I think it's okay. Like, it's not bad, it's not terrible. I'm gonna keep it, and I reach for it sometimes, but it just like didn't, you know? I wasn't fainting over this palette. It's just all right to me. Don't be mad. Okay, I'm just gonna set that one down quietly, and we're just gonna keep moving. Okay, so Eyeshadow Formula. So this also kind of like tripped me up for a little bit too, and I was like, what can I say here? For underrated, I decided to go with Divina Cosmetics. So I recently was able to try out Divina Cosmetics eyeshadows, and I was so impressed by them. Divina Cosmetics is an indie brand. You can buy single shadows on their website, and I was so impressed with them. I reviewed them in an indie brand review video and had great things to say about them. I was so excited. They recently sent me this new collection that they have, and I just got it. I just put it in my Z palette yesterday, like late last night. I think it's so beautiful. I can't wait to try these as well. I'll be reviewing this in my next indie brand tutorial, but so excited about that. But yeah, the first shadows that I tried for them, the first single shadows that I tried, I was wildly impressed with them. So I think that's pretty exciting. And then overrated, I decided to go with the Urban Decay Naked formula. So I got the Naked Smoky as like a Christmas gift one year, and I remember being so excited because I was like, everybody talks about these makeup palettes and I'm totally a part of the crowd now. This is fantastic. And I actually didn't love them, and I ended up decluttering it out of my collection. And then Urban Decay sent me this guy. So this is the original Naked palette, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so exciting. So this is what the original Naked palette looks like, and I've used it a couple times, and again, I'm just like, it's all right. Like, I mean, it's just not anything that I'm like, man, like people talked about the Naked formula, the Naked palettes for so long and had so many good things to say about them, and then I try them and I'm like, it's good, but like not great. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, thought of that one for the overrated. And then moving on to eyeliner. So they said either liquid or like a regular liner. So for underrated, I actually picked out two. So I have a regular and then also a liquid liner. For a regular liner, I have these from Pure. These are the On Point pencils. I really enjoy these, and I feel like I hype them up a lot, but I don't see a lot of other people talk about them. They're really creamy, they're very pigmented, easy to get into the waterline. They're also self-sharpening, which I think is so awesome. When you close them and you twist, you're automatically sharpening it, and I think that's fantastic. I really enjoy those. And then also for liquid, this here is from The Balm. It's the Schwing eyeliner. I did not think I would get on with this eyeliner, but I actually really do, and I think it is quite nice. I was really intimidated by this applicator, but I find it so easy to use, which is super exciting. It's very black, it dries matte, and it doesn't go anywhere, so I think this one is so good. And then for Overrated, I don't have it on me anymore, but it's the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. So many people raved about that liner, and they said it was the best liquid liner, and it was so easy to use. And I got it. I think I bought it, and then I also got it in a point perk or something like that. And I was like, I just don't love this. It was fine, don't get me wrong, like, it was fine, but there's definitely other eyeliners and liquid liners that I love so much more. So I was like, I don't really get that one. Okay, and then moving on to mascara. Hello, mascara. Oh, there you are. Okay, so mascara for underrated. This is from Essence. It's the Rocketeur mascara. I love this mascara. I talk about it so much. I've been through either 1 or 2 of these. It makes your lashes long and it makes them full. It's waterproof. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't get on your face. I don't feel like I hear anybody talk about this mascara, and I think it is so good. For Overrated, I chose the Tarte Maneater mascara. This is just a mini and it came in a set, but I was so excited because this was from a while ago, but I remember so many people saying my favorite mascara is the Tarte Maneater, and even like when I watched the Tarte Cosmetics Snapchat, so many of the girls are like, my favorite mascara is the Maneater. I'm like, can't wait to try it. I don't feel like it does anything for my lashes. Nothing. Length or volume. I feel like when I put this on, it's like the invisible mascara. I'm like, what? So yeah, no. This one is a no-go for me. Okay, so I'm actually coming back to refilm a couple parts because if you guys didn't notice in some of the prior clips, there's lipstick all over my teeth. So I'm not sure why my NYX Liquid Suede is doing me so dirty because I wear these a lot. But it started to get like really out of control, so I'm just going to sit down and refilm some of these real quick so it's not as distracting as it probably has been the last couple of minutes here. So okay, now I'm gonna be like super paranoid too. So moving over to foundation. For underrated foundation, I chose the number 7 Stay Perfect. I really like this foundation. It reminds me of the Lancome Tenti Dual foundation, which is one of my favorites, and I hear a lot of people talk about that one. This one I think is really similar to it, and I really like it. And then for Overrated, I picked the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. Now I'm wearing it today and I like the foundation. Again, overrated doesn't mean that you don't like it or it's super bad, but I felt like so many people talked about this foundation and used it and loved it. And when I got it, I thought it was just okay. It didn't necessarily blow me away. It's not my favorite foundation. I still like it, but to me it was pretty overrated. For concealers, for underrated, I think this one was Georgia's as well. It's the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. I believe I tried this out when I did a collab with Kim and we were trying each other's drugstore favorites. So I bought this because it was hers and it turned into one of my favorites. But I definitely don't feel like I hear a ton of people talking about it. But it's full coverage, it's easy to blend. I think it's a really good concealer. For Overrated, I chose the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's just a concealer that I tried because so many people hyped it up. It was like so many people's holy grails, and I did not like it at all. I got a sample of it, and I would not purchase a full size of it. It was too much, it was too thick, it was too cakey. That did nothing for me. I did not like that one. Okay, so going over to primers. So one that I think is underrated, and I think this was Biohazardous Beauties as well, is from Skindinavia, and it's the Makeup Primer Spray. So it's oil control, it's a fine mist. This one is so nice because I feel like with a lot of primer sprays, I maybe don't necessarily notice anything on my skin a ton, but this is one where I spray it and my skin instantly looks better, it feels like it's prepped for makeup. I feel like something is actually really happening with this primer spray and I really enjoy it. And then for the Overrated, again, another product that I like and that I use pretty frequently, but it got a ton of hype when it was releasing. It's the Milk Makeup Blur Stick. Everybody was talking about this, everybody is raving about it. And like I said, I mean, you can tell that I've used quite a bit of it. I do like it because I really do think it is a good pore filler. I like it to put right here and then here on the center of my forehead. But for me, it's kind of overrated because it's just good for that. And I want a primer for the rest of my face as well. And I only really do this, like I typically use this and another primer at the same time because yes, this is good to fill in pores, but then I want something else for the rest of my face as well. So again, I like it, but it was a little bit overrated, you know? And then for face palettes, this one was actually a little bit difficult for me. So for my underrated face palette, I chose this one here from Pure. It's the Contour Diaries palette. I don't know if this one is still available, but I really enjoyed this one. It has a mirror, and then you have 6 different shades. I use kind of all 3 of these, but especially this top one to set my under eye concealer, and I think it works so good. I have a contour, I have a bronzer, you have nice big shades. I take this one traveling with me quite a bit, and I really do enjoy it. I really couldn't think of an overrated one though. Like, I really struggled with that one and couldn't really think of anything. So sorry about that. And then same for blush. I couldn't really think of an underrated blush. I feel like a lot of blushes I love, everybody else does too, and we all know about them. So I was like, meh. And then for overrated, I thought of this one. Again, I like it, but it's from Hourglass, and it's their ambient lighting blushes. These are expensive blushes, and people talk about these like they are discovering gold and they're the best thing ever. And I got this one in Ethereal Glow, and I like it. Yes, great packaging. I like the mirror. You get a lot of product, but I was like, it's a blush. I like that it lasts a long time. That's really good. I like that it gives a natural glow. But to me, I was like, what? I feel like I'm missing something. Again, I like it. I like it, don't get me wrong, and I use it and I will continue to use it, but I feel like these are a bit overrated. Okay, so moving on to highlights. Okay, so for my underrated highlights, these are from Almay. And I feel like you don't hear about Almay a ton, but I really like these. These are a new release from them. They're the Instant Glow Highlighting Duos, and I really like the one in Talk Pinky to Me. So it's so interesting that I really like these because it's a cream highlight on one side, which I don't gravitate towards, and then it's a liquid highlight on the other side, which I don't gravitate towards. And I just thought that was kind of funny because I like powder highlights, but these give such a pretty glow. I want to say it's like a natural glow, but it's like more than that. I think they're really nice, and I think they make a really nice duo as well. And then for overrated, again, I like these. I recommend these, but I do think that they're a little bit overrated. And that would be the highlights from Ofra. Again, these are really, really pricey highlights. A lot of people recommend them. I do as well. I recommended Pillow Talk in my Summer Essentials video, but Pillow Talk to me is a different highlight from the other Ofra ones that I've tried, and that one is the best one. This one in Blissful is the first one that I bought, and I like it. It's very blinding. It's not subtle at all, but it also has glitter in it, and it can kind of emphasize the texture on my skin, and I don't love that about it. And I've noticed that with some of the other Ofra highlighters that I've tried. I have so many in my collection, and honestly, for my next highlighter declutter, I feel like there's going to be a few of them that go. Not Pillow Talk, because I love that one, but they're a little bit overrated for me, to be honest. Okay, moving on. So we have bullet lipsticks. So where did I put my bullet lipsticks? Oh, this is so crazy refilming. It's already 5 o'clock right now, and I'm just like so flustered, and I know I looked at myself at one point in the mirror and I just had lipstick all over my front teeth. I was like, are you kidding me? And I was trying to pinpoint where exactly I should start refilming from, and I was like, I got super overwhelmed. So sorry that there's a few clips with lipstick on my teeth. I know you all think I'm perfect in every single way. I'm just kidding. But that's just real life, okay? Alright, so for my underrated bullet lipstick, these would be from Maybelline. This one here in Truffle Tease is one of like my all-time favorite nudes. I think it's so good. These are affordable, they're drugstore, they're nice and pigmented, they're easy to apply, and I just love these lipsticks. I've been talking about them and wearing them for the longest time. When I first started my channel, they're basically like all I wore because I couldn't afford anything else, so there's that. And then for overrated, honestly, it would be these ones from ColourPop, the new Luxe lipsticks. A lot of people are talking about them. They got a lot of hype when they came out, but I tried 3 different colors and they were all a different formula, which I think is really frustrating. They're not supposed to be a different formula. They're supposed to be the same across the board. Some were really creamy, some were more matte, some were in between. I was like, I don't get it. So it's kind of frustrating that you don't know what it is you're going to be getting when you purchase something. So I don't love these, and I just feel like they were pretty overrated, especially when they first came out. Liquid lipsticks for underrated, I chose Lawless Beauty because I really enjoy the Lawless Beauty liquid lipsticks. That's what kind of made me fall in love with the brand. This one here in George is one of like my all-time favorite nudes. I think it's beautiful. Highly recommend. Very long lasting. They smell good. They're expensive, but I think that they're really nice. And then for Overrated, I chose the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipsticks. I've decluttered them all out of my collection, and I just don't like these. And I felt like especially when they launched, so many people were talking about them and hyping them up and wearing them in their tutorials, and I was buying them. I was going like around everywhere trying to find them in stores. It was craziness, and I did not like them at all. They just did not look good on my lips. They were too much, they were too moussey, they cracked off immediately. They were just not doing it for me. So yeah, my Overrated would be the Anastasia liquid lipsticks. Then after that, we have finally made it through this tag video. Okay, so that is everything for the underrated, overrated makeup tag. Thank you so much to Georgia Harris and Biohazardous Beauty for the fun idea. This was a lot of fun and also much harder than I thought to go through my collection and pick one for each of the different categories that they came up with. Make sure to check out their videos, and of course, make sure to go over to Everyday Heidi, check out her video, let her know I sent you, and I cannot wait to see her pics as well. If you guys are a vlogger, you haven't yet done this tag yet, I definitely suggest it because I think it's going to be more challenging than you might think it is, but I would love to see your videos too. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.